Why, hello there. I'm Sin. We're in the Book Nook, and today we're going to talk about my past, present, and future of books, what I've finished, what I'm in the middle of, and what we're going to get into. Okay, so first up, still in the midst of the Cryptid Readathon, and recently I finished the book Mothman by Richard Estep and Tobias Wayland. It's a nonfiction, and they go and cover the whole winged humanoid phenomenon from kind of like the beginning of where the first sightings happened up into present day. And they do a really good job with that. It's a book that flows really well. It captures the story and interest, and you get some of the background about the whole Silver Bridge incident and going into Point Pleasant where the Mothman was originally sighted, and then also more recently in like 2017 and beyond, like some of the Lake Michigan Mothman sightings and whatnot. And so you have the combined expertise of Richard, who's been a paranormal investigator for like 30 odd years, and then Tobias Wayland as well has been a Fortean investigator for over a decade, and just combined, they have a lot of interesting insights and they delve into the history of all this weirdness, and it was done really fantastically. So, this is quite possibly the second best book on Mothman that I've ever read. The first one being the Mothman Prophecies. Absolutely fantastic if you're looking for a little more newer information on Mothman, because most of it is, the back in the day from 1966 and whatnot. So they bring it into the present. So they go into the history, they talk about more current sightings, and then they actually go and visit Point Pleasant, both of them, and they go to the TNT domes and do a little bit of an investigation of their own. If you're looking for a weird Mothman cryptid read, I would highly recommend it. Okay, so currently, what I'm in the middle of is In the Valleys of the Noble Beyond by John Zeta. And this is a book about Bigfoot, and it takes place in Canada on the north coast of British Columbia. It's in the Great Bear Rainforest, is where most of it is researched and learned about. So John Zeta goes into that area. He talks to a lot of the indigenous people. He also goes out into the forest, and he basically compiles and listens to all the different people's stories, getting into some of the lore and history. He is a skeptic, so he's kind of like filtering through all this information, trying to figure out what he exactly believes, and he's not sure. He's like, is it a flesh and blood creature? Is it something more than that? Is it on the paranormal side? Because all these different experiences seem so weird, and like talking to the indigenous people too, like how they've always known these creatures existed. It's quite fascinating. It's beautifully written. He's a fantastic writer. Like, his descriptiveness is awesome. And I'm a sucker for that. Like, I've read a number of nonfiction, weird paranormal books, and some of them can get monotonous and really effing boring because it's just case study after case study. And it's like, it's sometimes can become a chore to read it. But when you have beautifully descriptive writing and you kind of make your nonfiction story flow well, it just adds so much to the book and it makes it so much more enjoyable. It makes me want to share it more because, yeah, I don't want to just read the factuals. Then I guess I'm saying factual in a respective to cryptids, in a factual case studies, people's accounts. Like, it can be very boring. There's ways to make it better, and this book definitely does that with this guy's writing and descriptiveness. It's quite fantastic. I am only, I think, 100 plus pages in. It's great so far. I'm going to be reading more of that tonight as I continue on in the Cryptid Readathon. And then I got a couple more that I'm gonna get into. One is another cryptid book and the other is not. Okay, so another cryptid one is Dear Mothman by Robin Gow. And this sounds like a very heartbreaking and sweet and emotional book. And will it break me? Maybe. Let me tell you the synopsis for it. So this is a middle grade book, and I picked this one up because Crystal of Fiber Artsy had mentioned it in our Discord for the Cryptid Readathon, and I have had this one on my radar, but I kept forgetting about it. So they had it on my library, put it on hold. So we'll be reading this one soon, and let me tell you about it. So halfway through the 6th grade, Noah's best friend and the only other trans boy in his school, Lewis, passes away in a car accident. Feeling lost and alone, Noah starts writing letters to Mothman, Lewis's favorite cryptid, wondering if he would understand how Noah feels. At first, Noah isn't sure whether he believes in Mothman, not like Lewis did. But when strange things start to happen around his wooded home, Noah wonders whether there might be something to the stories. He decides to make his science fair project about Mothman despite his teachers urging to study something real. As Noah's mind begins to open, so does his world. He makes friends with a group of girls in his grade and finally feels like he belongs. But most of the world is not so accepting, and he has no evidence to prove that Mothman exists. With the science fair looming closer, Noah decides to risk everything, trek into the woods, and find Mothman himself. Moving and lyrical, Dear Mothman is a story about finding belonging and hope in the most unexpected of places. And it sounds like that'll be quite beautiful, and I love it. And I love this cover. So, looking forward to reading this one. Okay, next up. This book is something I wanted to read just because, like, this is about a musician who passed away recently that, to me, it was the last concert I have been to, and I have seen him play probably at least like 10 times from a teenager up until the beginning of I think it was 2020 was when I last saw him, or 2019. And that is Ozzy Osbourne, Last Rites. Let me tell you about this book. So at the age of 69, Ozzy Osbourne was on a triumphant farewell tour, playing to sold-out arenas and rave reviews all around the world. Then disaster. In a matter of just a few weeks, he went from being hospitalized with a finger infection to having to abandon his tour and all public life as he faced near total paralysis from the neck down. Last Rites is a shocking, bitterly hilarious, never-before-told story of Osbourne's descent into hell. Along the way are reflections on his extraordinary life and career, including his marriage to his wife Sharon, and what it took for him to return to the stage for the triumphant Back to the Beginning concert streamed around the world, where Ozzy reunited with his Black Sabbath bandmates for the final time. Unflinching, brutally honest, but surprisingly life-affirming. Last Rites demonstrates why Ozzy transcended his status as the godfather of metal and the prince of darkness to become a modern-day folk hero and national treasure. And yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. We will definitely have a standalone review on that one in the future. So, as for what I am most excited to get into, I don't even know all of them. I think the Ozzy Osbourne one, to be honest. And then so we'll see how many more cryptid books I fit in for the cryptid readathon. I'm not sure. Maybe one or two more. We shall see. It just depends on life and time and all the other stuff and things. And if you've been taking part in the cryptid readathon, what have you been reading and what has been your favorite read so far? Or if you've only read like one book for it, did you enjoy that book? Let me know. And if you enjoyed hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.